Hey guys, what's going on? Lane back for another Netflix review, and today I'm going to be talking about My Brother, My Sister. My Brother, My Sister is an Italian drama that tells the story of a single woman named Tesla and her children who are all mourning the loss of her father and their grandfather respectively when her brother Nicola appears out of nowhere to come and collect what he expects out of their father's will. When it comes time to read the will, the two siblings are both shocked to find out that not only is there no inheritance, but the house which Tesla and her family live in has also been bequeathed to Nicola as well, which effectively makes them both part owners of the same house. This is what kicks off the rest of this movie's events into gear as the two struggle to reconcile and repair their relationship with each other while living under one house, and this will perhaps even lead to Tesla repairing relationships within her own immediate family as well. Because of this, it's a very character-oriented drama, and I do think that the movie succeeds in portraying a traditional nuclear family that's been put in an awkward position, for the most part. Tesla is the main protagonist of the story, and a great one at that. She's a good woman who's capable of love, but she's afraid of the future and what it has in store for her family, and this in turn creates an anxiety that affects her relationships with her daughter Carolina and son Sebastiano. When Nicola shows up, this forces Tesla to confront her fears head on, and we start to slowly but surely see her make progress in this area, though not without issues. With the presence of another adult in the house, she's able to do things like go to meetings without having to schedule around them so rigorously, to doing something as simple as going on a date. Like I said though, this doesn't happen without issues. She's resented Nicola for more than 20 years for supposedly abandoning the family, so she's a lot more uptight compared to him, and I like how his laid-off nature rubs off on her more over the course of the story as it progresses, and she starts to realize that she doesn't have to work as hard at being a mother as she thinks she does. In the same token, I also think that Nicola was a great character too. He has a happy-go-lucky nature about him that makes him likable the instant that we first see him, but there's also an underlying sadness to his character that becomes more evident later on too. I like that he's not a typical bum trying to mooch off of his family's inheritance, but his life circumstances force him to rely on his family for help, which in turn leads him to helping other family members as well with their issues. His positive energy helps to offset Tesla's negativity, and the two go together like bread and butter. Tesla is not the only character who's affected by the sudden appearance of Nicola though. Being that this is a family drama, there are multiple characters that are affected in different ways, and they all experience a transformation in one form or another, but some are better than others. Sebastiano was by far my favorite part of the whole movie. He's a young man who suffers from schizophrenia and dreams of mastering the art of playing the cello, which happens to be gifted to him by his deceased grandfather, and being able to travel to Mars so that he can perform to his friend Kelvin, who he speaks to. What I like most about Sebastiano as a character is that he doesn't come off as a caricature. He still speaks the same way a normal person would, albeit with some weird hand gestures here and there. And I loved how Nicola was able to help him come out of his shell just by being there for him and talking to him like a regular person. Carolina was another decent character as well, but not quite the same when compared to Sebastiano. She feels stifled by her mother's helicopter parenting and is relieved when she has the opportunity to live away from home with the help of a camper that she inherits from her deceased grandfather. Her character doesn't have a whole lot to do in this movie, and she doesn't heal the same way as other characters do. She never comes to any sort of revelation or has any heart-to-heart conversations with her other family members, although admittedly it is nice to see her gain some penance later on in the movie too. In general, the movie does an excellent job portraying family members that are trying to overcome their differences that they have with each other and become a cohesive family unit again. However, I'd be lying if I said that there weren't a few issues that I encountered while watching this movie. I found the movie to be quite slow at times. There's lots of moments where there's not really anything all that interesting happening on screen. There are a few interesting moments here and there, like when Sebastiano's having his conversations with Kelvin, but when it's just Nicola kite surfing at the beach, it's not that fun to watch. Something else that doesn't add much to the movie was the presence of Emma, Carolina's best friend. It felt like she was just there to fill in gaps of time. The idea of her being Sebastiano's music teacher is an interesting concept, and I wish it was expanded more upon, but unfortunately that never happens. This being said though, I did like how classical music was used as a theme throughout the majority of the movie. It adds a common effect after tense family exchanges take place, and it emphasizes the importance of harmony and structure when it comes to the family dynamic. It's a shame that this structure is not present for the ending. I can sort of understand where the filmmakers were going with it with the way that it was presented, but to me it feels rushed and incomplete. Everyone solves their problems too quickly and it doesn't feel natural. Overall, My Brother and My Sister is an interesting story that closely examines the quirks of every member of what could be considered a traditional family and how they must come to terms with accepting each other, and it's a story that I thoroughly enjoyed. If you enjoy family dramas that closely examine each character's stance in their family and the world around them, especially if that world happens to be set in gorgeous Italy, then you'll be in a treat when you watch this movie. Some elements and characters of the story could have been handled better, and the pacing can be iffy at times, but I still enjoyed the movie for what it was. It reminded me that no family is perfect and we all have our differences, but rather than shun them, this movie celebrates them, and in this day and age, it's great to see a movie that promotes that kind of positivity in spite of its genre. Anyways guys, that's going to wrap up my review of My Brother and My Sister. Thanks for watching this video, I hope you enjoyed it, and as always stay tuned for the next part, where next time I review the Chilean thriller, Fever Dream. Bye bye!